let's talk about the fact that you guys are co-leading this church. I think that's fairly unique. You know, you guys might know better than I do, but I don't see a lot of it. How'd you sort out the roles? How did you get,
Yeah.
is it just because you spent whatever 10 years, 15 years going on family vacations that you were like, it just worked and you already had it figured out? Or did you have to do some hard work there?
It wasn't really all that hard. In fact, there's a saying that if you're typical on the pastor track, you say, never take a church unless it's desperate, because then they'll really welcome you as a new leader.
Yeah.
We were desperate. That is, we had been transitioning churches for Paul about 8 years, me for 10. And whenever, we had contemporary services, traditional services. Whenever you're leading a blended church, it's like driving a car with one foot on the accelerator and one foot on the brake, and there's a lot of friction and sometimes smoke and heat. And we'd done that for a long time. And I think both of us were ready and realized that we could never fully accomplish the mission we felt called to do in a transitional setting. And I look back now and go, if I hadn't done this, I think I would have shriveled up and died spiritually, because it was so hard to do both of those things over and over again.
Right.
So we were literally desperate. And people look at us and go, oh, you had so much faith, and I can't believe you did that. And we go, no. We were so desperate to be in a situation to be able to flesh out our vision and our sense of mission and do that.
Yeah.
And then when God provided for us so generously through the lives of people, it was really easy.
Mm-hmm.
When we got here, we just kind of laid out all the different responsibilities that needed to be done. And so we chose up sides. We flipped a coin and chose sides. And so here's another reason why this really works. Paul and I are very complementary in our gifts, in our interests, and in our wiring. And so even though the first choice was we both wanted to be over worship, we kind of worked that one out. All the others fell very naturally because of the gifts that we have and our interests that we have. And so we say that this partnership works primarily because of four things. The first one is because we have implicit trust in one another, and that was built through all those years vacationing together with no, we had no, what's the phrase? No dog in the fight. We were just trying to get along and lead our own churches.
Right.
And so we just built a lot of trust. And so that has remained to this day. The second thing that made it work is this. We have different teaching styles, but equal competence. And Paul is a great theologian. He could be a professor at any seminary in the United States. He has an uncanny ability to synthesize biblical doctrines and teachings and make those really accessible. My great passion was really, as a communicator, making the gospel accessible to people who had never heard it before or had said goodbye to church a long time ago. And so through all this time period, there's never been a movement going, oh, no, it's Jim preaching again. I'm Paul's guy, or vice versa.
Right.
Our church has truly, I think, been blessed by both of us bringing our personalities and our perspectives to our preaching gift. And then just this complementary nature of our giftedness. And we joke about this, but it's true. Between the both of us, we make one pretty good senior pastor. Because we have all the gifts covered. We have, while I might be more extroverted in times, Paul can do the introvert thing. He has a pastoral heart. He can walk in a room and feel the emotional tenor of that room just like that. I walk in a room and I sense that there are emotions there and people have them. I just don't care as much. And so,
which has its strengths, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes our greatest strengths are our biggest weaknesses too, right? It's like you get them both.
That's right. And the other thing is we have a similar background. We read the same authors. We have a very similar doctrinal background and stuff. And so it's been a real blessing, and it's worked out beautifully. And I think the church has really benefited from it.
Hey, Frank, can I add something else on that?
Please jump in, Paul.
You just made the statement that every strength has its weaknesses. So if you're dealing with church leadership or church planters, if you're coaching them, you see their strengths. You can help them identify their strengths. Of course, Strength Finders tells us, well, whatever you do, maximize your strengths
Yeah.
and don't spend too much time on your weaknesses.